Welcome back to the Gardening with Joy and Holly radio show. Happy you have been part of the program today. If you missed any of the coupon codes that's been offered throughout the program, you can go to our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, and click on the Money tab at the top of the page, or the Season 8 tab, and they will be listed all there for you. It's time for your garden questions, our garden answers. You got a question, shoot it on over here to us at gardentalkradio@gmail.com. That's gardentalkradio@gmail.com. Or you can give us a call anytime. Jam your fingers in your phone at 1-800-927-SHOW. That's 1-800-927-7469. See if we can get through to the top of the hour. You talked about using recent canning recipes, referring to our previous conversation a week or so ago. But the library has canning books from back even like the 70s. Why aren't these recipes safe? How do I know a recipe is safe to use?
So for the record, the library has a lot of books from the 70s and before that. So the library is not going to toss these books out because they might be irrelevant.
Quote unquote out of date. Yeah.
Right. So the recipes aren't safe because just like most science, most food and beverage, whatever you want to call it, science has changed, just like everything else.
Well, the product itself, the food itself has changed.
The food itself has changed, yes, but also so has, as we think about, lifespans, think about people getting diseases, people are living much longer, just like, so as the medical science has changed, so has food science, so has, again, the fruits and vegetables themselves. Those components inside them, like tomatoes, are less acidic. Green beans, you used to be able to can them with boiling water. Now you need to pressure can them. It's just something that naturally occurs, these changes. So you can know if a recipe is safe if it's within the last 10 to 15 years. You also, again, there's trusted resources like freshpreserving.com, National Center for Home Food Preservation, Better Homes and Gardens, any sort of master canner. Those are all safe recipes.
Fun little fact here. Obviously, you don't hold this to us, but while you might not turn out to be garden specific for this reason, research has found that living longer is one of its many benefits. Gardening, including being outdoors, connecting with nature, and being physically active, all of which are good for your physical and mental health. So basically, if you're a gardener or you're outdoors a lot, there is some science and some data that proves that you might live a little bit longer.
Yeah, because you're not stressing yourself out.
Well, you shouldn't be stressing yourself out.
All right, so next question. This is a question for Joey, I think.
Okay.
I made a pallet bed, and people are saying it won't last long. How long do you think it might last? And is there any ways to make it last longer?
Well, you're right. It won't last long. It's a pallet bed. It's made out of very thin timber. You want a heat-treated pallet, not a chemical-treated pallet. And also, you want to figure out, if you can, and this is obviously more difficult, what was on the pallet prior to receiving it for your garden use. Meaning, if it had some horrible toxicity, chemical barrels on it that were leaking into it, obviously you're probably going to see some stains on the wood there. For the most part, you can utilize this if you want to figure out and you want to build a simplistic pallet raised bed. Go to our parent website. Go to the search bar in the upper right corner. The parent website is thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, and click and search pallet raised bed. We don't take the pallets apart and sand down the boards and make a frame. We cut them in thirds, slap them vertically, nail them together, and there's your pallet raised bed. It's going to last you about 2-3 years at best. And if you want to make it last longer, you can use a product called Timber Pro Coatings Internal Wood Stabilizer. This protects the wood from the inside out. You can also use this on your regular raised beds, chicken coops, your deck, whatever you have that's wood that you want to preserve it for an eternally long time. It's Timber Pro Coatings, USA.com. Internal Wood Stabilizer. It's under the Season 8 tab at our website. And you can get many, many more years out of it. If you're just wanting a quick turnaround, make the raised bed, use it for 3 or 4 years, throw it in the or throw it in the trash or burn pile, get another one. So you're not investing a lot of money into a 2x10 or 2x12, 12-foot long, 8-foot wide raised bed. That would be the way to go. You can also, in addition, this is not part of the question, but you can also make straw bale gardens for a fraction of the price as a raised bed. Now, if you're someone, and what I mean raised bed, if you're not intending to stay where you're at for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and you're somebody that moves a lot for a job or because that's who you are, you don't want to stay around in one spot too long, and you consistently move, mobile or short-term raised beds or growing situations is best. Grow bags
Like
from
a pop-up raised bed.
Yeah, from rootmaker.com, RROT24 for coupon code, straw bale garden pallet raised bed. You don't want to invest, $70, $80, $200 in wood from a big box store, and then you're going to leave in 2 years. Though that may, in some environments, create a better investment or a better value for your home if you have somebody that's eager to garden and you've already got one established in the backyard. But not everybody wants to get in the gardening game as much as you may want to, or you have.
Right. And that makes a lot of sense. So next question is I would like to buy a composter for my patio. I've seen like all sorts of composters. There's the ones that twirl around. There's these ones that look like boxes. Any advice?
Aerobin composting bins. They've got 2 different models in which you can select. 128 gallon and 240 gallon, something like that. It is what it is. You put your stuff in. Now you have to layer it. It's not like it's a magical thing where it just does everything wonderful. There's a certain amount of browns to greens. Explain what that is.
Sure. So browns is the not the nitrogen, the
carbon.
Carbon. Thank you. And so that's things like dried leaves, twigs, cardboard, shredded paper, things like that. Anything. So it's more of like the dry stuff. Anything that's more wet, and you might think, well, my kitchen scraps aren't wet. They are in the world of nitrogen. So that's the greens. That's the nitrogen. So that's anything like kitchen scraps, like vegetable, fruit, whatever. Grass clippings. I don't even know what else you possibly put on like a patio composter, but it's a lot of times for people, it's like kitchen scraps, things like that.
Small lawn clippings without chemicals on them.
Yeah.
Aerobin, they have a 55 gallon for the small size and 111 gallon for the large size, or a 400 liter and a 200 liter composting capacity. And it's got the door at the bottom, and you can remove it and harvest it. You can go to Costco.com and search Aerobin. You can go to Burpee.com to search Aerobin, or HomeDepot.com to search Aerobin. And Aerobin is AEROBIN composter. So that is what we would recommend.
Right. So
we've reached that portion of the program where it's what we've learned today.
All right. So I've learned that, even though I kind of knew this from Enoch, that the Pacific Northwest, is a very successful gardening area, and maybe it's not as gloomy as people make it out to be.
Well, I think it's like 8, 9, and 10 in growing zones. Yeah. So it's almost tropical to some degree, and it's warm like 10 months out of the year. They do get those snowstorms every now and then, but I would say 10 months out of the year compared to 6 months for the rest of us.
I think if you and I move there, it would be a learning curve to grow.
I don't want to live in the Pacific.
No, I don't either. But I'm just saying, like, if.
What I learned today was 1 ounce of water for every 2 pounds of body weight you should be consuming on a normal, everyday day. Not a hot day, not a cold day. This is a normal consumption of water. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be drinking 100 ounces of water, which is just shy of 1 gallon. 1 gallon being 120. This is water, not beer or apple juice or Kool-Aid. This is water. So that's what I learned. What we learned today is brought to you by Honey Bee Healthy.
Whether you're a gardener, a bee hobbyist, or a professional beekeeper, Honey Bee Healthy Inc. has the products to help you maintain a healthy hive and thriving garden. For more information on how to use Honey Be Healthy in your garden, visit honeybehealthy.com.